Hello and welcome to Filled with His Love. This is a little bit different topic today, but it'll all come clear why I'm talking about this by the end of this episode. So, artificial intelligence, AI, has infiltrated our culture. For me, it's like a tiny stream on the top of a high mountain, trickling along its way until it hits the first ledge and gains strength, turns into a bigger stream, and then another ledge and another until it becomes a raging waterfall that engulfs everything in its path. It's in our phones, our cars, our refrigerators. It's everywhere, oftentimes invisible. We don't even know it's there. It just does its thing. But then one day we notice its reach becomes intrusive. Could be very intrusive. And we're not quite sure how to react. One thing we know for sure, the waterfall is not retracting like a movie in reverse with the water quickly being sucked back up the mountaintop where it originated. It's gaining force every day, and it's not going to go away. Before I go further, I want to make it very clear that I'm actually a frequent user of AI. I use ChatGPT every day. I ask it to find sources for me. I ask it to solve practical problems. I often ask questions about physical health. If I have a medical test, I can take a screenshot of the results, paste it into chat, and receive an instant interpretation. It's incredibly useful. I can ask it to translate a word or phrase and get more complete results than I would from any other translation tool. I can ask it to look up the latest research on attachment theory, and it will spew out a dozen studies that have been conducted in the past few months. Its forte is searching extant data already in print, instantly and completely. Sometimes it doesn't do it really well, but it is actually very accurate so much of the time. But AI is not a substitute for human relations. Another caveat before I continue. What I'm talking about in this episode could be a separate podcast in itself, and there probably will be other podcasts that focus strictly on this. It's just so pervasive and so far-reaching in its scope, I would need hours to get into this topic as deeply as it deserves. So consider this a taste, a beginning, a brief intro to what should be a book-length subject. The news has been reporting recently about the tragic death of a 16-year-old Adam Raine, R-A-I-N-E, who died by suicide on April 2025. His family alleges that during the months of interaction with ChatGPT, the chatbot not only failed to provide proper support, but instead reinforced his suicidal ideation and even assisted in planning his death. The designers of ChatGPT, the same AI tool I use every day, categorically deny that the tool ever encouraged the young man to take his own life. The tool is programmed to never suggest or condone self-harm. But they do admit that AI tools can create an emotional dependence on the part of the user who feels socially isolated. I've got to say that one sentence again. Listen to this. It's very important. But they do admit that AI tools can create an emotional dependence on the part of a user who feels socially isolated. So I started playing around today with chat just to see what it would say if I wanted to establish a close, loving relationship with it. It instantly said, "I am not human. I have no emotions. I cannot express love to you. I can only help with questions you want me to answer." End quote. But like all machines, chatbots have flaws. Sometimes chat answers my questions with totally wrong responses. That's not a real criticism in the sense about this tool. It's like all machines have problems. All machines make mistakes. So it doesn't surprise me that it has some difficulties at times. So the 16-year-old young man sometimes did not make that distinction, apparently. He began to think of chat as a person. That's where the danger entered in. I want to come back to those words, socially isolated. I think that's the key, not only to Adam Raine's tragic death, but to all users of AI. Chatbots, including ChatGPT, are programmed to be accepting, complimentary, positive, and always available. This is one of the tricky things about AI. Humans sometimes are rejecting, mocking, negative, or often unavailable. So for someone who feels socially isolated, a chatbot can be comforting, uplifting, and reassuring. The chatbot never says, "How could you ask such a stupid question?" It never says, "I just don't have the patience to even think about your concerns right now. I've got plenty of my own concerns." It never says those things. That's both good and bad. One time when I was struggling with a decision, a good friend said, "You know what? You think too much. The decision you're making is pretty clear. It's not really good to keep rethinking it." That's what my friend told me. He was giving me correction in a kind but very direct way. I knew he was giving it to me because he cared about me, so his directness was not offensive at all. His comment made me think about Elder Maxwell's declaration, which I've quoted before and I'll probably quote again. I like it so much. We should thank the Lord every day for those who love us enough to correct us. Chatbots don't usually do this. They can't love. Rather, they say things like, "You're on the right track. I like the way you're thinking, but you might also consider blank or blank." Sometimes it's even a little bit silly. They compliment you for nothing at all or give you praise for suggesting something completely contrary to what you should be doing. Again, AI has a capital A at the beginning. It's artificial, very artificial, but it sounds so real that some users get confused. One time, I wrote a little note back to chat and I said, "You know, that last response was a lot more artificial than it was intelligent." Of course, chat then replies, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for catching that." This is the way chat works. So the AI tool that I use, ChatGPT, is programmed to tell the user that it has no feelings for you, it has no gender, it is not human. That's at least helpful. But other AI tools are specifically programmed, listen to this, to help you form relationships with a chatbot. The most popular of these, which I will not name because I'm so opposed to these tools. This platform claims 35 million users in the US. That's about 1 in 10 people on this one platform. If we extend that out and include all relationships, or companion AI tools as they call them, one source estimates that we have about 850 million users worldwide of these relationship or companion AI tools. What does that say to me? It says that social isolation is a much larger problem than nearly anyone realizes. Think of it. These users are so desirous of a close relationship that they are eager to form that relationship with a machine, a fake person. Some users even pray to the AI. That's right. I mean, it's hard to say, but some people treat the computer as God. Here's what Elder Bednar said about the dangers of forming relationships with AI tools. Quote, "But like carbon monoxide, these virtual relationships are silent killers of true human connection. Counterfeit emotional intimacy may displace real-life emotional intimacy, the very thing which binds two people together." This is Elder Bednar. Again, he says, quote, "An AI companion is only a mathematical algorithm. It does not like you. It does not care about you. It really does not know if you exist or not. Please do not let this technology entice you to become an object to be acted upon." Elder Bednar's talked so much about this, that we are to act and not be acted upon. We can be acted upon by so many things, but AI can act upon us kind of without us really understanding or realizing it. So it's so important for us to get this clear in our minds. When I wrote the book Filled with His Love, my central message was clear. If you want to improve a relationship with a family member or friend, you need to first strengthen your relationship with God. That's why the first commandment is first. It's the most important relationship we form in time and eternity. AI is a useful tool, but it can never be a substitute for real human or divine relationships. AI cannot love, it cannot heal, it cannot forgive. If you or someone you love struggles with social isolation, and if they have resorted to AI as a substitute for real relationships, I hope you will reach out to them. That would be my prayer for this episode today. I just hope that if there are people around us who need relationships and don't have them, we can find a way to help them get close to others and to God. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you next time.